That nice soft ending, so nice. It just leads in really well.
Segues into not here.
Like this year, it's gone. Poof.
Well, almost for some
The end.
people.
Scene
Now
end.
you-
Thankfully. I
now
mean,
you-
technically, it's 2022.
No. Well, it depends on where in the world you are,
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Frank's in the future.
and especially on your chin, my man.
Just a little bit.
It's 5 o'clock. Hi, laddie.
All right, so we have me, Jeff Fuller, according to my little tag. We have Matt Enderly from Patchrays over there. We have Jerry Lee Medeiros from Pointing at Herself. And we have Letty Walker from Walker Woods Creations. You know, Letty has the coolest stickers, the little sticker she gave me in Fort
Really?
Worth.
I didn't get a sticker.
You didn't get a
Oh,
sticker?
no.
Oh, wow. I will send you a sticker.
I know she will send me one.
I don't think I got one either.
Really?
Oh, I think you were offered one though, Matt.
Oh,
You were
snap.
Oh,
If
so
I was offered something, I would have took it.
that's not necessarily true.
That's not, I mean, probably not.
Anyways,
Let's see. So we
let's-
have two comments here. Let me bring those up. We have Eric saying, greetings, folks. Stuck on an errand, but listening in the queue.
cool.
And we have Mike Henry from Calgary, Canada. That's north.
Way
That's
north.
That's north. So
North people.
I guess this year we're going year in review, right? So go ahead, Matt. What was your favorite part of this year so far?
favorite part of this year. So here we go. Let me bring this down for cinematic effects. Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Nothing changed. So yeah.
Okay.
Dumb Matt, tapping your camera won't make it any louder.
I
Anyway,
don't.
so here we are.
Talk slower.
3 of us on this live stream are in a car and we make a right turn down a wrong way, a one-way street, and we almost die.
We did not. We're still.
I
here
would
to
say
talk.
that was a pretty exciting part of the year.
If that's as exciting as your year got, we got to talk.
And then also another one is that
Like-
same day we're driving away from there as fast as we could, and suddenly the car just starts beeping and all the lights go on and everything, and this person over here freaks out, loses their mind because this person up there opens the door on the interstate.
Well, that's because we were doing 70. Okay. We were doing 70, but I think we should segue over to when you just got your rear end ripped off by a semi.
Hey, that sounds a lot more painful, and I'm still dealing with plastic surgery, so thank you very much.
You have trauma, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, it was pretty. I'm not gonna say it was one of my proudest moments opening the door on the freeway, but it was pretty fun.
Why
That
are
was
we back
good.
to that? I just talked about your rear end getting ripped off by a semi, and we're back to
That was not that bad.
it was bad. Okay,
I was there. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't open your door on the interstate bad.
that was pretty startling.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exactly on my list of things to do. It wasn't in my travel itinerary to get hit by a semi while
Neither
buying
was
an embroidery machine.
my
But
rear right passenger opened the door as I'm flying down the freeway.
well,
that-
if Jeff opened my door while we were on the interstate at that same time, the door would have got ripped off because of all the traffic.
I was gonna say Matt would have pushed.
Oh wow! If he had been next to me and
Seatbelt.
opened that door, I would have. No, not really.
You know, that was different. Watching
Yeah.
Matt going, "Oh crap, we're gonna get in a thump."
He's so calm, isn't he?
Yep,
Oh my
it
God,
was.
we're about to get.
It's all Wendy's fault.
It is Wendy's fault. We will put that out there
Are
forever
you
and
saying the
ever.
food chain.
Yes, the food chain. We went to Wendy's.
Oh,
We walked there. Then their lobby was closed, and they wouldn't let us pretend that we're cars walking through the drive-through. So we're like,
Oh.
fine, we'll go get food. And then we're like, you know what? Let's go to Micro Center and spend a lot of money. And then got my rear end hit.
So
So
we didn't go to Micro Center, and we still spent a lot of money.
and we didn't get that food either. We just bought food at the gas station.
Yeah,
Micro
nothing
Center's on
says
sale.
Wendy's fault like a gas station sandwich.
You know what? Look within, not without.
But to answer your question with real valuable response, I would say ISS was probably the most funner part of the year.
The bestest of the Everest.
I'm pretty sure it's funner.
Y'all scared the crap out of my cat.
All right.
But you know what? I'm with you because that's my answer too. I had the
Copycat.
best time ever in Fort Worth. I really had a blast.
Yeah,
Letting it up.
I agree. Fort Worth and getting the signatures on the jacket.
Yeah, that
the
was
zippy jacket. That was the best.
That was funny. Yep.
They were both long drives.
I just realized we should have signed the hats.
Oh, we should have.
You have your opportunity in Long Beach.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even think I brought mine with. No, I didn't.
Well, send it and I'll get things signed for you.
That's
Matthew.
not the same.
Are you going to Long Beach, Letty?
I don't know. I'm like teetering on the fence of going and not going.
Okay, so where's your accommodations?
I have not booked them.
Okay, I got a hotel room for you for the first night.
Okay. All right.
Well, it turns out that now I have two.
You have to.
I don't need two.
That's what happens when you click checkout twice.
Non-refundable.
I just was trying to land my butt somewhere safe. Okay. And I did.
So is this the further one that I said, I don't know that
God,
my fat
no.
butt can walk that far?
No. It's 2 blocks away.
Ah,
that's really far.
Thing. 2 blocks. Get out of town. You just used
as long as
in a jet and go right there.
As long as ISS
blocked to my mailbox.
As long as they put those signs up, you're almost there. You've walked so far. You're getting closer.
You have your steps in for the day.
Well, let's see. We got some comments over here. Who's the commentator? Jeffrey.
You.
Not me.
Eric says Fort Worth, epic forever live. That was a pretty good live after Fort Worth.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was what, 3 hours? We're gonna beat that here.
That. I mean, I think that's what tonight's is gonna be. Just heads up, Letty. We're gonna be here a while. Mike Henry says just wanted to stop in and wish everyone a happy new year, and Trish as well. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. So, Jiffy, what was your best part of 2021? You haven't uttered a word on that.
Well, I didn't
It
decide
can't be
yet.
ISS.
That's why I was asking everybody else first.
Well, you do 9.
You've
Okay.
had many firsts this year, Jeff.
You've had a lot of firsts this year,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Did I?
How about the webinar? How about getting all them machines?
Wait, webinar? We
How
did
about-
a webinar?
How about
We
participating
did.
on the panel? Or,
Oh.
being
How about
being
getting a
a
Maryland
finalist?
and crying?
Yeah.
How about your kid making a hat? How about getting nominated 82,000
Well,
times?
Break. How about you teaching me how to do a hat?
That is a highlight. I must say.
Only been doing embroidery for 5 years. Haven't done a hat.
Didn't need to.
I think probably Adam sewing a hat would be my highlight. But then again, all the people that came out to support him, that sent him stuff and messages and nice stuff, I'd say that's my highlight because it's, helping him be successful is my job. It's not everybody else's. And so it's really kind of heartwarming to watch everybody else try and make him successful too. So,
Well, it's nice to see a young kid getting into something like this. So, and besides, you're a package. He's a mini you. We get 2 for the price of 1.
we both react the same.
Yes, you do. You both are very interesting, and like the item that he
Interesting.
got.
That's like you have a nice personality.
Who said that?
You have an interesting personality.
It's a disorder. Thank you, though.
That's interesting. Although, you know what? It could be
Who said
during
that?
a live stream that somebody compared me to flat and undimensional.
Your texture, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got you.
Matt's got me. I was like, we should go through and find all of our best, most memorable moments on live streams. And then I was like, but I've only got the one. That's the only one that really sticks out to me.
No, there's another. There's a dry something or other floating around out there.
A dry?
Oh, really? Don't make me do it.
I'm gonna. Go ahead. Explain that one to me.
I won't. Oh, wait. Hang on just a second, and I will. One moment. Let me take.
Oh, uh-oh. Hold the phone. Shut the front door. We have in the car Justin.
Oh, Justin.
Woo, 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 woo. Justin in the house or in the car or something.
Yeah, I'm in the car.
He's in the closet.
I'm on my way to go get food for the family. We got family over. I just wanted to pop in, wish everybody a very, very happy new year. Thank you, Jeff, Matt, Jerry Lee, for everything you did for me this past year. Hi, Letty.
Hey.
And just wanted to wish you guys all a very happy new year. May the new year bring us all health and prosperity and good luck and all that good stuff.
Same to you, buddy. I'm glad to be on the team with you. It's a real pleasure.
It's been great, and I hope we do some really good stuff this coming year.
Well, if we don't, it's our own fault.
That is true.
Oh, look at Eric's in the house.
There we go.
Yeah, live from the car. I don't know how well this is going to work out, but I did want to say hi.
Hi. So good to have you.
Good to be here. And honestly, like you guys were talking about all the great stuff from this year, and I just had to say, awesome time in Fort Worth. Yeah. And it was so great. It was an honor to be on the panel with Jeff. It was cool. Yep. And get to hang out and do the massive, endless live. So, of all the cool stuff, that was definitely highlights for me. And I just want to say great work for all you guys at the Embroidery Nerd. Did awesome stuff this year.
Thank you. We're definitely looking forward to Long Beach.
Yep. I'm looking forward to being on a panel again.
Yeah, no, the panel will be great. I hope that everything goes well. I mean, everybody's been asking me, like, it's DMs all day long about what's going to happen. We're planning as if, and we'll see what happens. That's the best we can do for now. But, hey, going to keep it up and hopefully get to see everybody.
We're going to see everybody.
Woo! Uh-oh, Matt's got that love. Justin, you ready for this? It's your favorite live.
What is this?
What's that?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
He's got stuff going on.
The infamous flat remark that I'm never going to live down.
It's the best one ever.
No texture, buddy.
It's the flat incident of 2021.
No, it was great. It definitely made my day, to be honest with you. It's the most memorable live we've done. That's the one that sticks in my head. And Matt most generously put it into the comments, so anybody that would like to, they can go pull that up. But
you can thank me later.
I can thank you later. No, it's been a really great year. We've had a lot of growth, and I'm just thankful for all the people that I've got sitting around me. And it's funny because they're all in this one live right here. They're all sitting around me in this live, but it's
what?
Matt, of course, pulled me out there. It's been really great to see the group hit 4,000. I'm looking forward to 5. I think we grew by about 2,000 members this year.
And everybody get requests.
So, and believe it or not, we decline a lot of people because we have 4 questions and they can't answer 4 questions.
Or they'll forget the one that says you can't like spam people with your digitizing. And if they ignore that, it's like, that was the worst question for you to ignore. That was just plain stupid.
There's one group I'm in, their question, and it cracks me up, is tell us your best joke. That's the question to get into the group. And the best jokes get brought in and posted in the group. So I like it because it's funny. But no, it's been great. I'm looking forward. I'm hoping we're going to grow. I'd like to double at least this next year, hopefully.
I'm sure.
We're excited for Jerry Lee getting set up in her shop. She's putting together her little education space. That's going to be awesome.
You guys are all going to be there.
Eventually.
Yes, yes, I'm really excited about that. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 teachers right here. And none of them include me. So what's that say? Okay, who took himself out? You put yourself right
Matt,
there.
you like Matt's the official producer. Just so you guys know, it's not me. It's him.
That wasn't me, but I did move you earlier. That was me.
Oh, and Eric dropped out. Oh man.
Oh, that's what's his name. Did you do that?
No, I think he lost the internet connection.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Hopefully.
Are we entertaining you, Justin?
You are.
Right.
Okay.
I'm,
No, but I really hope that we grow and that we can continue to build our YouTube library. We can continue to build our Facebook group. We've tried partnering with a lot of companies this year. I'm hoping that we can get some of those to pan out this upcoming year. It's been a wild ride. Let me put it that way.
Oh boy. And it continues.
Yep, and it continues next year.
We're going to get better. I have I have such a bright eye on what's coming up. I just really am almost too excited to stand it. So we've got a lot of good coming in our group. A lot, just a ton. So for all of us, for everybody, I'm really
I hope so. I think we're gonna try to do a giveaway at 5,000 people because 5K.
A nerd.
It'll be a good one.
We're basically the prize is gonna be we're gonna fly somebody out to Jerry Lee's house. Random person on the internet.
I don't need any random soul. No. I get to pick. No.
We're gonna reach out to a few companies and see if we can't pull together some cool stuff. And it's not gonna be as chaotic. We did the 12 days of Christmas last year, and that was a lot of chaos and a lot of work on the back end. So we're probably going to try to do just one larger thing and hopefully can build off of that.
Well, I'm in a 3D group that guy, every so often, he just picks one person, like they have to do something, but he picks one person and he'll send like a resin machine. I'm like, dude, or a nice 3D printer.
Where's your resin machine?
I don't have one. I'm not into those chemicals.
It would be nice.
Are good.
If we could do something like that, but I think what a lot of people don't really understand is we don't generate that much money off of it.
Well, he gets a lot of money. He has
a website and probably affiliate links.
No. He has 5,000 Patreon followers, which
there you go.
Patreon
$10 a month.
Yeah. We set up a Patreon channel. We just haven't done it.
Well, it's $10 a month, man.
Well, yeah, it's $10 to $20 a month. But the hard part is, consistently and producing good content. This isn't our full-time job. This is what we do.
No, he made it his full-time job, and now he makes $60,000 a month.
Something like that, probably. I mean, I could make this my full-time job. I do well sitting in my chair talking at my computer. I prefer to talk to people in real life, though. It's a little bit more fun, and I'm a lot better in words than I am in typing. Matt's a lot better at typing than I am.
I can type. I'll type.
Letty's pretty dang good at typing, too.
Yeah, Letty's good, too.
I type.
Letty can get a point across. I'm like, hello? Okay.
I'll get a tea. I'll be back.
I know. I felt bad when Matt said, hey, will you look at my thing and just give me some thoughts? And then I went, please don't take all this comments to heart.
Oh, that's exactly how it goes when I review my wife's papers for college. And yeah, there's a lot of red squigglies.
Yeah.
See, and for me, every time I wrote a resume, my grandma worked in a human resources department at the government. She would hire private sector people, and I would get she would rail through my resume, and it was, trash this. My very first job was I would stock shelves at a tractor dealership, and she changed my title to inventory relocation specialist.
That's right. Exactly what you did.
Yeah, I mean, but she would change the wording around and make it sound like I was more important than I actually was, and I guess it's all about looking good on paper, but I'm pretty sure I wrote, under my title, I was like stock shelves or stock boy or something like that. And she's like, no, we're going to fix that.
Yeah, that's
But-
all I do in my day job is write, and lots of writing.
So let's do something a little different right now. I'm going to bring up a link here. Have this short link I created. I'm going to post the link in the comments.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because that's the link to all of Justin's, the guy over there that you can't see. His like face just mysteriously comes into focus every once in a while. Oh, there's a hand. He has 4 webinars that he ran with us this past year. I know I certainly learned a lot from them, and you can check them out at that link there. And there's a coupon code for 25% off all 4.
Right.
Except you should double check your link.
Does it not work?
Sorry, the page you're looking for could not be found.
Okay, well then let me fix that.
404, let's panic.
It worked for me.
So we'll grab, here we have Anthony says, actually, ladies are good at texting someone while talking to another person. I can't do that. Like, I'm singular focused, and if somebody starts to talk to me, I lose both. I don't know if that makes sense. I can't do 2 things at once. I'm officially fired. Oh, Justin's at a red light. Nice.
I'm at red light. Yeah, so those 4 webinars, you got the 3-part series on the 3D puff that we did, and then the one text talk that we talked about everything we need to know about small text, regular text, text and embroidery.
Back to you, Jeff.
Back to you, Matt. Oh, what? No. No, they were good webinars. I had the privilege of, I guess, what would you call me? A TV show host? Not
You're a
TV
fly
show.
on the wall.
Yeah, fly on the wall, Vanna White. I got to Vanna White them. They were all pretty good. They were. I honestly, I wasn't quite sure what to expect with Justin's first webinar when he did it, and when he actually put it all together and was presenting it, it was like, holy cow, he put a lot of work into this.
There's a lot of
wasn't even-
information in it.
I was gonna say I didn't even know what to expect. That was my first one either. But I had a lot of fun doing it though. I really did, and I'm really looking forward to 2022 and putting some more out with you guys and a little sneak peek of there might be a little bit of a puff off 2022 coming up here, right, Jeff?
Okay.
The entire year, a new
The entire
3D puff
year.
design every day.
365 days.
Thank
call
goodness
it-
it's not a leap year.
Normal.
We'll just
No,
let
there might
Jerry
be.
continue talking while she's muted.
I think it was Letty who told us that we should make it annual. I can't remember who it was. It was in the Discord channel. Somebody was like, you should do it every year.
I think so. I think an annual competition would be good.
That was you, right? Oh, see, Letty brought it, and we were kind of like, well, why not? I mean,
Why not?
Well, Letty brought it up, and behind the scenes, I had been harassed by Jeff and taunted and
Good.
crap talked about doing it. So, yeah.
Crap talked.
let's just say that there is friendly banter. I would say banter. Friendly banter with challenge gloves and gauntlets and all that fun stuff. Right, Justin?
Exactly.
He's like, no, Jeff's so mean.
I bet
No,
he crap talks you back.
Out of nowhere, I'll get this snippet of a picture or a snippet of a video. I'm like, what's that? He's like, you'll see.
Oh, that's his way. That's how he does it.
I mean, Adam, actually, he has a design that he drew. So he drew it, and he's been digitizing it for the puff off because he wants to crap talk
nice.
too.
He is just like you.
Now I got to take on two fullers, huh?
Yeah, you got no chance. I mean, you lost the last one. You're going to lose this one. It's just the way it is. And then Matt. Oh, Jerry Lee pulled out. I was like, Matt pulled him out.
It'll be
I see how
interesting
it
to
is.
see what you two come up with this year.
That's going to be the hard part. Is coming up with stuff that Justin hasn't seen already, because we do share a lot in the background. We share a lot more than we do in the groups. And so trying to balance between what I've already shown him and what I haven't already shown him and what I want to show him. It's going to be interesting coming up with new things that we haven't seen, because I've seen quite a few of Justin's top secret items that he's got going on too. So we'll see. Justin's like, crap, I got to think of new designs.
He has
Yeah,
someone
my mom's
hired
got
to
a
do
big-
it.
I got ideas. I just haven't put them down yet.
Yeah, that's what we all say.
That's what a loser would say.
Oh, okay. Well, I have
Says the
to
person.
defend my title, don't I?
Yeah, that second place trophy is pretty hard to defend.
Oh, man.
So there was never a clear winner on that, was there?
You know, I gotta say, holding your hat, your final hat that you did in Fort Worth compared to the final hat I did, I think you walked away with it. That's the one time I'll concede that I think you walked away with it. I think mine was more visually impressive in pictures, and yours was a lot more visually impressive in person.
I agree.
I'll accept that then.
I reluctantly accept the first place
But I
win.
guess, what can we say? Justin was published. You know, wasn't Justin's published in the magazine?
That is true, Jeff.
That is
Oh.
true. He's been published.
I've been published too, but it wasn't my puff.
No, I meant for the puff. Though. The puff made it to the.
To the big show. That is true. Mine did not.
We could create a magazine and just feature you in it, and just not feature Justin.
I mean, that's like the trick to everything. I think, you know, if we have an in-house digitizing awards, we know that after, I don't know, 10 times, 11 times, we're gonna have the world's most award-winning digitizers in-house. So it's all about how you spin things, I guess. That inventory relocation specialist.
There you go. Yep.
But no, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. Even if I don't have stuff that's, you know, visually blows people away, it's still gonna be a fun time. Because that whole week that we did that was a lot of fun. The trash talking that went on. Are you gonna post it first, or am I gonna post it first? Who's gonna throw down today? That was a lot of fun.
And to tell you the truth, I think between both of us, it kind of sparked our creativity to launch the couple fonts that we've had so far. We've got plans for more fonts, and just the necessity to beat each other kind of brought out the creativity and sparked us to create more content, more stuff to put out there for you guys.
Most definitely, it was. There was a lot of stuff that was like, oh, what are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do next? And that most definitely brought out a lot of creativity.
Yeah.
But I'm just fortunate I can remember that time.
And you taught a lot of your techniques in your webinar too, I believe, especially your last one.
Yeah, the last one I think that you also reviewed all the different things that we did, and I know that the stuff that we've come out afterwards, because I've been asked for the stuff that we've come out afterwards. You know, how did you do it? What do you have? Is Justin's webinar cover it? And it's like, well, no, because we came out with it after. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do like a review, an annual, yearly puff webinar where we go over the puff that we did in the puff.
It's a puff date.
I don't know how many times we can say the word puff in one webinar or one live stream, but we're getting up there, and I mean, we still have 4 people watching, so at least we've got. and audience that wants to hear us talk.
Yeah, it is pretty late. Well, it's not late. It's just a holiday.
I mean, it's a holiday. It's New Year's Eve. So
Well, I'm gonna run in here, guys, and grab my food and go meet up with my family. But like I said, I wanted to drop in. Didn't want to miss it. Wanted to wish everybody a happy New Year. I hope everybody stays safe and has fun tonight. And looking forward to 2022.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow.
All right,
it's
guys.
tomorrow.
4 hours.
Tomorrow.
Thanks for jumping
right,
in.
guys.
I wasn't expecting you tonight. It's been a nice surprise.
I didn't want to miss it, guys. I wanted to ring in the new year with you.
Awesome.
Aw, I'm gonna have a tear in my eye.
All right, take care, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
See you, Justin.
I've been listening. Bye.
Just snooping in the background.
No, I was making tea, and I have all these cats, and so for tonight, they're all feral, but some sleep inside, and so I'm making them bacon in the microwave.
You're putting your cats in the microwave?
No, I'm not creating them.
Did you hit the bacon setting?
Hit the
Put
bacon.
the cat in.
I thought you were making
It
cat
wasn't
bacon.
flat, but what
Okay,
I'm doing is cooking bacon for the cats. I should really be so.
there you go.
Okay.
Now I'm following.
Thank God. I am cooking I'm not cooking cats.
I am cooking cat.
I'm cooking bacon for all the cats because what I'm doing is during the winter, I'm trying to put as much fat into their diet because it's like right now 14 degrees out there and we get down below freezing here. So, and there's 4 feral cats out there and they're cold. So I'm making bacon for them. I'm making the bacon.
So you
You
don't
should
find
3D
them in the spring.
Say
Just
what?
3D
Daddy?
print them some igloos.
I could.
Yeah, so you don't have to find them in the spring.
Well, they
That's the
actually do have sheds and stuff to sleep in. They do have that, but we feed them kibble, but to me that's just not enough to sustain them when it's really
cold.
freaking cold. So, and tonight they also get catnip. All of the cats.
Every time that you talk about all the cats that you have, it makes me think of the cat lady on The Simpsons.
I know, and it would, but you'd think this house would smell like cat or something, and it doesn't at all. It's the weirdest thing, but it's a very large house, but there's 5 cats in and 4 cats out, so a total of 9.
What?
Until they have kittens, and then you have.
No, they've all been fixed. These were cats that were abandoned and dropped off, and so Susie got them all except for 2. She couldn't catch 2. And that's Daddy and Butterscotch, who are males, but everybody else got fixed or neutered, and there's no kittens since. And so because all of the females are fixed, but almost everybody's fixed except for the 2 that wouldn't, and there's nobody for them to, dance with. So we're good. There's no kittens
This
left.
took a really wrong turn. We started out in embroidery and we ended up in cats dancing.
Yes, but they all start getting bacon. See, that's what I was doing. And the one that was, you probably had to have noticed that one tail that was up here the whole time. That was Sister. That was Sister. And she is
A cat.
but she's 1 of the 9. Yeah, I know. I know. I feel like I should smell like cats or something, but I smell good.
Just smells like donuts, probably.
It does. It does smell like donuts. It does smell like donuts. This kind. So let's see what else is going on around here.
Let's bring that up. Let's back this truck up and let's talk about that, because
What are we talking about?
from the Embroidery Nerd group,
Yes.
you came out with a new tool, and Justin came out. That was all this year, wasn't it? You came out with the donut this year, and no, you came out with it last year.
Last
Matt
year.
gave you
Well,
the.
then that means you need to tool. And but you know what? This is Matthew.
I'm already a tool.
Yeah, I contributed.
Yes, you did contribute in a really big
Contribute. There you go.
right? You contributed, yes, in a very big way. He did this, and so the one that the donut needlies caddy with one, it doesn't work. Take that one out. Got to have 2 magnets. Okay, what's Dustin have to say?
Hi everyone, Happy New Year's. in to catch a bit of the live cast. Just had to light the bonfire.
What bonfire? Get on the
In
camera,
Iowa, it's too
Justin.
cold for
Show
that.
us. Show us your bonfire. We want to know. He's one state over from me. I could run over there. Is that your little toy that you bent?
It's the Puff Pro, not the one that was lasered. So this is what, version 9?
Oh, okay. No, that's version 3.
Because there was super thin.
Yeah, okay. Did I tell you this? I did tell you the story of that.
Well, you probably told me. Letty, did you hear the story of that?
I'm going to tell you the story of that. It was very painful. I almost crapped my pants. It was a moment that I went in and I had things to say that were really very blue words. And I just stood there and said, how did we arrive at that? And I was like, in my brain going. So I took the little teeny skinny little thing in that Jeff handmade of the Puff Pro tool. He hammered one out, and then specifically Matthew created a set of technical drawings to say, dudes, do not make it this skinny beep beep little thing. Don't do it that way. This is an example. You want to go by the technical drawing and make it the real size. So I explained this to this person when I walked in. So when it was ready, they told me how hard of a time it was to be getting this thing ready and that they'd spend a day and a half. And so my order's behind now because, it's like, how behind was that? I was at least 2 or 3 days behind because of like when we expected it, because it had taken them so long to dial this in. And I'm like, oh my God, our production costs are going to go like through the roof, right? Because it's taking them so long. They've gone into overtime. The guy is lamenting about what they've done. I go in there, and what did he hand me but a replicated copy of Jeff's skinny little tool. And he had taken and crossed out the numbers on Matthew's technical drawing to correct it to the minute gnat's butt size status of the tool. I walked in, my hair caught on fire, and I was like, what were you hearing when I was saying, this is the technical drawing? And the guy who made it said, yeah, I worked really hard on that. And I said, why? And he said, well, because these numbers have been changed. And I said, I can see that. Who did that? Okay, so here's the transparent truth. The guy was flirting with me when he was initially listening to me, and he didn't listen well. So we got this little thing. And so I said, I am so sorry, but this is the wrong size. Okay, wrong size. This is the size of like a hair. And we need it this big. You need to fix that. The guy who had taken and done overtime and spent hours and hours and hours and bent himself into a pretzel to make their machine squeeze out something that was the size of a hair said, gee, if I'd have known that yesterday, I called yesterday. If I'd have known that yesterday, I could have fixed that. Why have you not fixed that? Okay, that's what happened.
We have Dustin. Hello, Dustin.
Woo-hoo! Hey, buddy.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, Dustin.
There, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
All right, there we go. And there's my wife, Inga.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see her.
Hi,
This is
Inga.
Embroidery group. Jeff Fuller.
Hi.
And everybody.
Well,
Matt.
Yes, we have you on screen.
Yeah, we're all here.
Yeah, but she can't see
Yeah,
us.
hold on. I'll try to.
Okay, we'll bring it
There
back.
we go.
There we
Sorry,
go.
this producer sucks.
This producer something already.
Yeah, now my wife is the one lighting the fire.
I am tending the fire. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Lovey.
Happy
How are
New
you?
Year.
Yeah, we're doing good. It's cold. We got lots of snow. We got a fire pit there.
Oh, we got a lot of things going on over at your neck.
Yeah. And then there's the bonfire.
Oh, dude. Hey, I need to come over for branches. No, I'm serious. I got to come over for branches for my brooms. Don't burn all the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is the place to do it.
Well, save me some, Dustin. I'll be over tomorrow. He thinks I'm kidding. I know where he lives.
Yeah, I know you're not kidding.
They're just gonna start moving logs to the end of the driveway so you can't get in.
Yeah, Dustin says don't come early. Don't come early.
Well, Inga,
Yeah, I know. I couldn't. What's that?
Inga, you know the plants that Inga gave us? They are thriving. Oh my gosh, the violet, the little violet has 5 leaves now.
Oh wow. She if she wasn't, Jerry Lee's talking about the plants you gave her.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
The African violet has 5 leaves now. 5.
African violet you gave her?
Yes.
Hi, there she is. There's his beautiful wife. There you go.
I'm glad I can catch the group. I actually just stepped in and saw you guys live, so I needed to join.
It was a half-baked thought last night that we decided to do it, Dustin. So you're right in the right group.
That's awesome.
Yes.
We figured we could sit, this is our proverbial campfire. We don't have a real one. Let's sit around and just talk about the last year and looking forward to the next one.
Oh, so we're going to put you on the spot. Dustin, what was the best part of 2021 for you?
As far as the business is, I'm actually getting big enough to where Inga doesn't know it. But again, I'm looking into getting a bigger machine instead of my single head Racoma, and just learning how to build my embroidery business, apparel business. So, but of course, I still own a floor cleaning business, which I have to be up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning to do a cleaning job at a big community center.
There's a 5 in the morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Why? It's New Year's Day tomorrow, man. Can't they sleep in or something? Do they need it tomorrow?
I know. I wish I could, but I don't know whose idea, mine, was it to get up that early to do the job.
You need to talk to your boss.
I know. I definitely need to talk to him and figure out why he scheduled it New Year's Day.
I'd like to know that at 5 a.m. Who does that?
Yeah. So, but other than that, besides that, I think just learning the business and and continuing to grow it and figure. By the way, I just ordered like $2,000 worth of Mighty Hoops, so I'm hoping that makes my life a lot easier.
I hope they fit that next machine that you're getting.
Are you asking what's the next machine?
No, I know what the next machine is. I just hope when did this fit the next machine?
Just as a heads up, you can buy just the brackets.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
So if you get them for one machine and you get a different machine, because I ran into that problem, you can buy just the brackets and swap over all the aftermarket hoops to the new machine.
Well, I'll also tell you, within the first year, they'll exchange them free.
All right, let's make that happen. Is it calendar year or our year?
Now, from when you ordered them, it's a calendar year. So, yeah, talk to Tom if they don't do that. But Tom said he'd upgrade mine for free when I went to the ZSK. Yeah.
See, doesn't he look like trouble to you guys? He's trouble. He's just a few minutes over from me. Trouble.
I thought you said he's in a different state.
He is in a different state. He's in Washington.
But Gary Lee lives on the border between Iowa and Washington.
We're both
on the edge. Life always on the edge.
We're border waters. We're border crashers. We crash through each other's borders all the time.
Yeah, every day.
Every day.
Hey, while you got that bonfire going, I got a butterfly that you could probably put on there if you wanted. You said you wanted a bigger machine, a 2-head.
Yeah.
Matthew, he wants one that functions, not like an
Just
disclosure.
Just throwing it out there.
That's one of those like a Tajima that should have just been a Tajima.
Yeah.
like it, Tajima. I love it when they say that. That's so full of caca. I'm gonna go for bacon.
The only downfall to the bonfire, though, unless you're sitting pretty much right at it, it's about 10 degrees right now.
So you can decide when you're standing there to warm the front or warm the back, depending on which way you stand.
I know. So if you see me just spinning circles like this, that's only because I'm just kind of a rotisserie.
Got to get that even tan from the fire.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of sounds like you're in the spot a lot of single head owners find them, because you hit that point that you just can't. You need another machine to be able to grow, but it's the cost that comes associated with that new machine to grow more is intimidating.
It's kind of scary that I haven't jumped to it yet, and I know it's just a matter of time, because I ran into a couple jobs so far. I mean, I've been doing it, but learning more within the 2.5 years. But just the last, the last year and a half, I've got a box of 75 beanies that I need to get out, and trying to get that done with one single head is just a killer, because I can hoop 50 of them if I had 50 hoops, but I can still only put one on the machine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a setback, but then again, it's a huge learning curve, and I guess that's something that I'm definitely learning, being brand new into this type of business and arena.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in when you very first start. You think it's going to be easy. They're like, oh, buy this machine. It's going to be simple. You just push this button. Money comes out the other end. We'll give you everything you need. We've got this starter kit. It's got everything you need to be successful. You don't have to buy anything else. And then, you're like, sweet. And then you get into
10 spools of thread. What more could you want?
Right. Exactly. And then it's that slap in the face of, oh, you mean I need to know what I'm doing too?
Yeah. And it's funny because, the first year, because Jeff, by the way, I've got to sign up, because I've purchased Hatch, so I'm learning how to digitize with Hatch, but I definitely have a long way to go. And I'm kind of self-taught right now, just playing around constantly with it. So I will be reaching out
Not a problem.
real soon. But when I first got my, like I said, I have a Racoma. So I think rather than understanding the digitizing and knowing that people like you guys are phenomenal digitizers, and that I know that I can, send work out, or to like Louis, anybody else, I decided just to understand the machine more. So I kind of just didn't worry about the digitizing as much. And I just wanted to understand the machine, because I knew if the machine goes down, you're at a standstill. The digitizing doesn't, because I mean, digitizers like you guys digitize and you guys can get the job done. But once that image comes in, that digitized image comes in, if that machine isn't working, you're kind of at a standstill. So I just decided to really not learn the digitizing at first, and just understand the machine, the maintenance of it, how it runs, parts, pieces, everything about it. And so that's pretty much the path I took when I first got into this. It's just understanding the machine more than anything else.
I mean, that's the way I recommend it. I started, I dove in feet first. I was determined I wasn't going to send out a digitizing ever. And the amount of headaches I caused myself along the way, that looking back, it made me a better digitizer now, but looking back at it, I kind of wish I'd have just learned the damn machine. It made my life a lot easier.
Yeah, you would have saved a lot of money not buying 3 different embroidery softwares at thousands of dollars each.
Yep.
Dustin is going to do something for me. Dustin is going to play a big part in my future. He is actually, and Inga are coming over. They're going to help me get the shop ready for some equipment and digitizing classes.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm really excited about that.
Yep. Just give me a call, load the truck up with all the tools and everything we need.
Well, I actually really do need to come over to your bonfire, though. I'm not joking you. What all are you
It's
burning?
just a brush pile.
Okay, well, that's
Just
what I'm interested in. Look,
yep,
I'm
just a brush
She
pile
needs
and
broom handles.
I need broom handles. I'm not kidding you. See that, Dustin? I'm serious. See, stuff like
okay.
this. I need that. See how
All
it's
right.
small? This is a cobwebber, and it has to be light so that you can lift it up over your arm, so you can get all your cobwebs, right?
Yes.
So I need some. So do you have stuff like this?
I'm sure there's a ton out here. And it's so funny, if I told my wife Inga to find you a couple of those, she's the absolute I think she's a pyro in
Well,
her
because
first life.
I
So
will pay her to go out and get me handles. I will pay for her to harvest me dry handles. Oh, let me
she
see.
would.
See, now look.
Oh, check it. Let me see this one now. Hang on here, Justin. How do I get this girl big? Could you make Letty full screen for us here?
No. This
No, I
is just
wanna-
spare. This is
No.
spare.
I want to see.
It's sitting there.
Oh, that's spare, huh?
That's
I'm waiting.
spare.
I'm waiting for 10 pounds of
I
her.
thought about sending it up to you because I'm done with my brooms. So
I'll buy it from you.
yeah.
Jerry Lee, 6 months ago, if you told me you had 10 pounds of grass coming in the mail, it's not what I would have pictured.
It's actually corn.
Honey, I grow that. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
corn.
That's next to the next. I go over to Dustin's and pick that up. He's in Washington, man. Do you think he has a big backyard for nutting?
So, to any FBI agents watching, we don't know what we're talking about.
He is that guy. Don't you know that?
I think it would be the DEA.
Yeah,
DEA, FBI, CIA.
As a
ATF.
disclaimer, the personal
Any
difficulties
acronyms?
experienced on the show are not necessarily supported by the show itself.
Well,
Viewer discussion is
you
advised.
never know what's going on in that producer's head over there. He's a fly boy. You don't know what happens up there.
I don't. You can tell I haven't even been to work for a while.
I can tell. I know it. You look like you're from the backwoods of, I don't know, North Idaho.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a comment or a
I'm
compliment
not
or
sure
an insult.
either. Kind of depends on which side of the fence you're on with that kind of thing.
I mean, at least he's not talking about your minuscule things, so.
Yeah.
We need to move on we need to segue right back into embroidery. So anyway, where I was going with with Dustin and his tools, I know Dustin, I'm going to ask Dustin about his tools. Dustin, you got tools, right? Right.
Yeah.
Good, because you're going to bring them over.
Yes, I have every tool to build a house from the ground up.
Well, then you'd love this shop. This is a carpenter shop over here. Seriously, the man did all the woodworking in the house, and all he
Nice.
Yeah, he unexpectedly left this plane. Okay, he just like one day. Seriously, it was very abrupt, and that's how I'm here and how I have this gentleman's shop.
Oh, nice.
I know, odd conversation. Woo! I don't have a broom for nothing. I have garlics, over crosses. I got it all. I'm joking.
I'm so lost.
Yes, me too. I'm trying to fill up some pregnant pause here. Help me. Help me hard. Come on, let's go. Help me, Rhonda. Help me.
So Dustin kind of told us what he was looking at doing for the future years. What is Letty looking at? I don't know if we asked you yet.
No. Letty's looking at launching the varsity jacket line in the cheer world.
Oh, tell us more.
Yeah, my hope when I first started this was to get into the competitive cheer world with a varsity jacket similar to high school. That showed your accomplishments and levels that they got, and then it could even branch out into other things that were non-school based sports, like you have traveling baseball or traveling wrestling and things like that. So those kids don't have varsity jackets, and I think there's a little niche for that there. So I want to get into my varsity jackets, and then I also want to play around a little with the lights and the conductive thread.
Really now? Okay, that's really big over in Germany. In fact, when I was working in a ZSK booth with Nick Matina a few years back, he brought that to the show. Actually, it was new technology that they had over in Germany, and they had put them in, or maybe just in Europe, not specifically in Germany, but they had put them in bicycle seats. It was like wild, but it was that thread that they were using, and it was in like a race suit and stuff like that. It was very unique and very hard to get. Do you have a source? I'm not asking for.
Well, no, you can source the thread through Madeira. Madeira has the conductive thread.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've got
that's
a cooler too.
Yeah, it's the little pixels that are hard to come by, and there's a couple places that store them. So I'm working on getting those and actually setting up the design. I did designs on the cheer jackets last year because, Isabella's gym has the heartbeat. And I actually had remote controlled lights that went through the jacket.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and did that. But I want to actually stitch them in with conductive thread. And
I would love to see that. I wish you'd post that. Please post stuff like that.
I posted that last year when I did the shirt. So
where was I?
Yeah. So that was something. But that's next year is the cheer. I want to get the cheer business launched.
So are you dropping down for a Chanel machine?
No, I am not. I am going to outsource that thing to India.
I was all excited that I was going to know somebody that had a Chanel machine. I'd be like, "Hey, Letty, I need some stuff."
No, not yet. Not yet.
But
maybe,
you will. That's
in
the
the
thing.
future, but not yet.
Down the road, you will, though, because what's going to happen is how this goes is once you start to do that, you're going to start to say, I'm going to start doing that, and then we will know someone with a Chanel. Give her 6 months.
I thought we had someone in the group with a Chanel machine.
We do.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've got someone.
Ooh.
Linda?
I don't remember the name. I'm bad with names.
Yeah.
Lenore who?
The one you know from Threadworks, Linda.
Oh, you mean Linda Baloney?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she had someone who was hand guiding the chenille.
And now she has a Chanel machine.
Oh gosh.
I thought she had one. Yeah.
I've been so busy.
So maybe we ought to support another nerd and help her get her Chanel up and going.
See, so here's the problem with the hand-guided Chanel machines. The people that operate hand-guided Chanel machines are, is extinct a word? They're becoming extinct.
The woman she had.
It's a rare commodity.
Rare commodity. Yeah, I like that better than they're just all dying.
There's not too many coming up into that. It's becoming a lost art.
I don't think you can even buy the machine. They don't make those machines anymore. So if you're going to do it, you have to find an existing machine, and that's
Disneyland uses them. Hand-guided stitching.
They might not anymore.
I bet they do. They use my hook wash on them.
Maybe you'll have to ask them, because I just know, all the people that do that are becoming to the retired age, and I can't imagine apprenticing on one of those things. Here's a really expensive jacket. Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. There was one guy in Hollywood that did it for Michael Savoya. He did it for quite some time, and he does it for the costume industry. He finally quit doing it for commercial embroidery to do it for costumes, in the industry, in the Hollywood industry. So he went exclusively there. But he was the only other one I knew.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. I know a few. I've actually, there's one machine that's near, I guess me and you, Letty. It's kind of in between us that somebody's selling, but it's pretty much they're getting rid of the machine, and if you want to figure it out, you can figure it out. But even then, trying to, repairing the machine and keeping it going, and
yeah.
So it sounds like you're buying that, right?
No.
I see room behind you.
No room. I've taken it
you
all
got
up.
that door behind you. That whole room is empty.
I see an empty space over there. I see space.
So that door right there houses the 3D printers.
Next to the door.
Your one 3D printer.
Oh, that wall right there?
Yeah.
No, I need that because I need to have my sound tiles. And I need access. More importantly, I need access to the embroidery machine, and that's where I have access to it. So if I need to get to the back of the machine, I roll it out that way.
Sounds like a lot of excuses from my end.
Well, I feel like I've spent enough money on equipment this year.
Well,
tax write-offs.
The answer right there.
Hey, in 3 hours, it's all over. You can start again.
Too funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm running low on the drive to buy more equipment and figure, because every piece of equipment you buy, you have to learn how to run it. You have to be able to run it. You have to be able to maintain it. And you hit a point that it's like, you know what? I'd rather pay somebody that knows what they're doing than sit here and figure it out.
That's what Adam's for.
There's only so much of us to spread around, though. And that's the truth of it. There's only like so much. That's why I decided for me, I've like trimmed my business to three distinct areas, and that's going to be it. Embroidery is number one, and then 3D printing and broom making. Those three, because I can do a lot of things, but just like having equipment, like you can only have so much room. You can only have so much. There's finite time in a day, unfortunately.
I mean, there is that saying, jack of all trades, master of none.
Right. So master a few and do the rest, right?
I tell you, one of the favorite words of people in my area is barter.
Barter? Oh.
Barter. So I can get a lot of work done and barter my time for their time.
Well, that's really cool, but it doesn't put bacon in the cat bowl now, does it?
No, there's no bacon setting on the microwave for cats.
They can all smell it too. They're like, what is up?
Yeah. So I don't know. I've debated bringing in more equipment, and I actually I like to keep this kind of open, and the post bed that's behind me is actually on wheels, so I can roll it out of the room, because I really want to try to do more YouTube videos. And so you kind of need the space to make the video. And that's kind of where all that's coming from, is so that I have space to be able to set up, set up a camera. I'm at my desk if I put a camera up, to be able to record at the table that I've got sitting there. So, it's that depth of room that you need to be able to make a video. And I want to try and do a lot more videos this year. I've got the equipment. I just need the, what do you call it?
Space. Recording space.
Figure it out yourself.
Yeah. Well, the production workflow is going to increase a lot, and that's what you're going to see with the Embroidery Nerd is. I'm getting a nice camera. Jeff has one. Just got to learn how to use it yet. Then I got to learn how to use my new one, and hopefully we'll be doing some more videos on YouTube. I got the Miro machine over this shoulder. It's a few bunch of videos on.
Machine over that shoulder.
Actually, I got two. Yeah, there's a green one over here and a red one over there.
Nice.
But yeah, and then I don't know. Oh yeah, and Jeff has that one's green, right? Yeah.
Yep. And believe it or not, that one was built in 1983. I was born in 1983.
So you're both decrepit.
Yep.
I have a post bed that I purchased from Racoma, one of their Iconics brand. And Jeff, I've had it for over 2 years, and it still doesn't work. I'm on number 3, and I still can't get it. And I'm pretty mechanically sound. I mean, understanding, like I said, my embroidery machine, even the post bed machine, and I cannot get the hook timing. It eats my top thread every single time, and I've set the timing. I've watched video after video. I've gone on support calls, and it just keeps. I don't know if it's the machine. Support has been great, but I cannot get the thing to run properly.
I mean, support being great would be that they fixed it.
Yeah.
Great support. True that. So what's the outcome though? Because I was there a few months back, and they were going to do something about that machine then.
They basically, they've support being great. I should say they've called me back, but there's nothing they can do. So basically I have to return it. And so I'm going to return it and get a refund, and hopefully, being new to using a post bed anyways, I don't know if it's the brand, the machine, because I've gone through all 3 and as many support calls as I've been on. again, all of them have had the same hook timing problem where it's eating the top thread through. No matter, I mean, it can be in perfect timing. It just keeps eating that top thread right through the bobbin area, and I mean, I just cannot get it to sew out clean at all on any object, whether it's been a test hat that I've ran through it just to test it, just simple flat material to test it. So I've told him I'm just going to return it, and I might look at another brand, like a Texo or a Conso or another machine of that brand.
Talk to Jeff. Jeff knows. Right?
Well, I've got a console sitting over my shoulder, and I'll be honest with you. It's a straight stitch lock stitch, and we converted it from a roller foot to a regular presser foot. But so I've got a DDL 8700, a Juki DDL 8700, and then Matt went and picked up this Juki LH 3827, I think.
It's a DDL 9000.
No, mine, the double needle.
Oh, that one
for Adam.
Oh,
so Matt went and picked that one up and brought it. And the first time I used that thing, it has automatic lock stitches and automatic thread trimming. And first time I used that thing, I was like, I can't believe every sewing machine doesn't come standard with this. It was, I can minimalist it. I can do my own lock stitches and I can trim my own threads, but the productivity that you save by it doing that, and you don't have to snip threads, you don't have to do anything like that. It's I mean, Matt's got a new one sitting behind him, probably for this very same reason. The first time he saw them use it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the kind that you recommend for Dustin then.
That I would. I'd look at something that has automatic lock stitches and automatic thread trimming, because then you're doing a hat, you're doing a patch on it. You put the patch hat on, you push on the pedal, it starts sewing. You get done, you push on the pedal, it trims the thread, and then you just take the hat off, and you don't have to fish those really long lines out as you get there and trim it all. It's so much faster, and it just amazed me, when you look at a machine and you're like, oh, I don't need those features.
No,
they're great. I don't need those features. But the first time you use it, you're like, I can't believe I didn't, spend another 800, another 1,000 to get those features. I can't believe what I'm missing out. So I know for a fact that if I ever have to replace my single needle machine, it's going to have automatic lock stitch and automatic thread trims. There's no question about that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, the post bed, it was close to me, and it was kind of the same deal. Somebody bought it and they just didn't use it, and I was able to pick it up for a really good price.
That is a good deal to do.
But had I not had that great deal, I'd be picking one with automatic lock stitches and thread trims.
He's back.
I'm back. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's okay.
Lost Wi-Fi.
Yep.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, I'd recommend looking at something that has automatic lock stitching and thread trimming. It adds to it, but at the end of the day, you're going to be sitting there sewing every single patch on every single hat. You're going to be sitting at the machine for 3-4 hours at a time.
Yeah.
Those little productivity, you're able to shave, 30 seconds or a minute off every hat. It's going to make a big difference in the end at what you can do.
Plus, it cuts down on your products. Like, you don't have to have extra scissors, and you don't have to have an extra light so that you can see it just cuts down on your space needs as well, because you don't have to have more equipment.
Yeah. But I do. I have the Conso, whatever their baseline comparable to the Ricoma model is, because I think they're all kind of knocked off the same Juki version. But I have a Conso, and it runs fine. I've been able. The nice part is I've been able to buy attachments from China, direct from China. Have them send them to me, because they they kind of manufacture that machine, and they have their own versions that they use to actually make hats, and they have all their accessories that they've made to fit those machines, and I'm able to buy those and put them on. But if I was just doing patches on hats, I'd thread trim. Thread trim is a big one. It doesn't need the automatic lock stitching, but man, that thread trim, because I've done a couple patches on hats with this, and when you're done, you have to turn it sideways. You have to slide that thing all the way off, and you've got that much bobbin thread between the needle plate and your hat that you have to now go and trim, just because you have to be able to get it to a place that you can trim it. Where The automatic thread trim at least tails like what, that long, less than a ½ inch, and you're done. So
yeah, and like that was the part I hated the most with doing my patches. When you sew Velcro onto it, with my Singer, I would have to, like you said, you pull it off. We all know sewing machines, so you have that thread, you have to cut it, and then I have snips everywhere. But with this one, I don't have anything to cut. It's just when I rock the foot pedal back the opposite direction, it cuts it for me, and then I'm done with the patch. I don't even have to cut the string down. Sometimes it might be a little longer than you want, but a little heat or just a quick snip and it's done. But it's like 1 out of every like 30 something patches I'll have a string to snip, and it's probably just tension related.
And it just goes so much faster too.
It is.
I'm sure that it takes you half the time it used to.
Oh, it's actually half the time probably.
So,
good point. Thanks.
You know, it's like buying an embroidery machine. There are some that have some crazy features that go really fast, and you think, oh, I don't need that. But then eventually you get to that machine, you're like, I wish I would have started with it. So I don't know. That's my experience, especially just getting that one that Matt brought over and using it. And it's night and day difference when I use it. It's I'm not going to say pleasure. It makes me happy to use it. I'm excited because I'm like, it's going to take less time than it would. And I've actually unthreaded one of the needles and used it to sew Velcro on patches too, because you can do that with a double needle. You can take one of the needles out and run it like a single needle in it. It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie.
So I think we can bring up another point that the Embroidery Nerds are going to be doing this coming year. So we talked about all the webinars that we did with Justin when he was on, his 4 webinars on 3D Puff and text. Jeff and I are planning one. Should be coming out in the first quarter of the year sometime. We're both very busy, so trying to work that between our schedules and everything. Anyways, the part you care about is the webinar and what it is. Well, believe it or not, it is patches. So here's a sneak peek of the design that would actually be sent along with it.
Nice.
It's even got a fancy little motif border. But pretty much what we're looking at encompassing in this webinar is materials you would need. I think a little bit of digitizing. I don't think we're going to do like a step-by-step, here's how we digitized it, but just like basics. And then like different types of borders, how to make them actually look good if you're doing it like the startup method where you just cut it out with scissors, how to make it actually look good. Show the benefits of the Merrill machine. Not saying you have to buy a Merrill machine to do good patches, but just showing you that's an option. How to do satin borders, how to do patches on things like that water soluble, stuff like that.
The water soluble, you've got the heat back or the hot cut, you've got the hot cut applique, you've got, that's one of the things that a lot of people, when they come into patches, I think it's just intimidating with how much information is that there is out there, because everybody has their own method. You know, there's the 20 gauge vinyl that a lot of people use that I never got past hooping my first piece of 20 gauge vinyl. And when I asked people, how do you do this? They said, well, you have to heat the vinyl up with a heat gun and then fold it in your hoop. I'm like, that's not economical for me. And so then I went with hot cut patches because, you know, I can cut twill, and going through figuring out which materials smelled really bad when you cut them and which ones made you think that you were going to have to drive to the emergency room after you cut them. And
which ones you can use the laser cutter. Oh yeah, that was another thing is doing like blanks and stuff. If you cut it with like aisle line or something, silhouette, cricket, stuff like that. What materials are good with that? Laser cutters. There are some things you should not cut with a laser cutter.
Vinyl equals cyanide, and we don't need that.
So it's gonna be it's gonna have a lot of information in it.
Ultimately, we're gonna try and present all the methods and show people how you can make one with each method, and hopefully they can pick the method that, because you know everybody's gonna have their preference of what they can do, and hopefully if we can put all the information there in one spot, It's not like getting on the internet and getting kind of, well, you get advice from this person and the other person says, no, you don't do it that way. You use this. And the next person says, no, I don't do that. I use this. And hopefully we can say these are all the ways that we're aware of that you can do it. And this is how you do one of each. And now you can kind of pick how, what's the best way for you to do it based off the materials that you have. And I think it's all about giving people those options and kind of a way that a place that they can learn that there are a million different ways that you can do it. And, I've seen people do it with tearaway and you're like, but what about the edge? Oh, you just Sharpie that. There's people that Sharpie the white stabilizer to make it look black. There's people that hot cut it, and it's just because they've figured out a way that works best for them. Even though it's not something that I would put out because I would never, I've lost a contract over using fabric markers, and I'm not about to try using a Sharpie because it hurts when you lose that much business.
Yeah. This patch here was actually this design is the first custom shape design patch I did. And that's actually where I met Jeff because I reached out to him, gave me the Madeira, whatever it is. So this is 100% filled thread patch. I did not know about underlays and how to actually get it to not blend or whatever. So I will confess that this is a Sharpied edge. Also bobbin tension wasn't that great, and I used white with a black border. So yeah, there's a little bit of Sharpie in all 50 of these patches that I did.
Yeah, so the Madeira, it's the AS 100 micron film that they make, and that, that's really cool because it's designed, it's a heat away. So if you hit it with your heat press, it's gone.
But you didn't have.
It's made to do freestanding patches on it. They actually have a webinar on how to throw down the digitizing to make a freestanding patch with it. And I've done some pretty complicated shapes utilizing that stuff. And it works really well for that. But when you do a freestanding patch, there's a lot of stitches that you're adding in because now not only are you putting the stitches down to cover the top, but you're also building the fabric underneath. And so you have to put down all of that foundation so that you can have the top stitches hold together. And you're essentially building fabric and then you're putting the stitches down on top of it. And then it's nice because you just pop it out and then you put it on your heat press and you're done. Unless you have to sew Velcro on it or it comes apart. Depends on how many revisions you are into it.
Yeah, this one I think was 7 revisions maybe and came out to be like 60 to 70,000 stitches.
Yeah.
For this little patch.
Yep.
Whoa.
Because it's almost 4 full fills that goes down.
Yeah, it was a lot. And that was following the Madeira webinar, which I think that was, or unless that wasn't the one that Eric did, because there's 2 I know.
I don't know if Eric did it. I know that they put out like a quick document, and I think one of the numbers on there was wrong for the decimal point.
Yeah.
And
that's what I followed.
But I think they got rid of that document that has that, and now they just direct you to the webinar. And it's good information, but it is a lot of stitches. But they also have that cool little frame. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it reminds me of printers that has the little circles on the side.
The dot matrix.
The dot matrix printers.
The tractor paper.
Stabilizer squares. It's the Madeira AS 100 film in the middle, and then it's got a paper frame on the outside of it. And they actually have a hoop that drops down into that. So you can just quick change out those little frames. And then that interior hoop thing, it goes inside of another hoop. So if you want to digitize your patch and sew out your entire patch, but then if you want to put it on a garment, you can then hoop the garment using that same hoop and slap it back on your machine and run the outline on it. So it's some pretty cool stuff. I've got some of the paper frames here. I don't have the hooping system yet. Because I don't have to tell you guys how much hoop costs.
Can we 3D print that?
You might be able to 3D print something like it, but not that takes their dot matrix stuff.
Cool.
You probably could if you could find somebody
is there
that had technical skill to generate the file.
Nope, not this guy.
And I don't know anybody besides the guy that's over there But I wouldn't ask him because I know he's got way too much time. He's got more things on his list of things to do than
he surely does.
Generate a file. So
he
came out with a thread converter website this year.
Yes.
And there's another one in the works.
Yep. Oh wow.
I did see that, Matt. That's awesome.
Yep. So what's the other thing that's in the works? Another thread converter?
I don't think it really needs to be a secret anymore. So it's kind of been it's an evolution of a product that made for a particular person who had the entire thread library of Isocord and wanted their own branded document with all of their thread colors, so that they could be like, hey, client, here is all the colors I carry, has their logo on it. Nice. And then it lists all that. And 400 thread colors, making a Word doc with that would take you forever. So I made a Excel spreadsheet that you just put in the thread colors or the thread cones or whatever you have, and then it makes it for you automatically.
Wow.
However, that's still very complicated and requires a bunch of stuff. So there's another website that is coming out eventually soon, maybe, where you basically select your thread charts right there. So you have Madeira, select polyester, I have brain fart.
Poly Neon 40.
Yeah, that, and then you select which ones you want, but you also have some Gunold, so you select Gunold as well. You put that in, upload your logo, and it'll spit out a PDF of every single thread that you selected, and with your brand on it. And then eventually I'll have the ability for you to like have an account so you can save it. So when next time you come on, you can just add or maybe track your inventory. But it's work in progress.
He's a whiz kid.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty cool to because there's a little bit of the development that you guys get to see in the Discord channel. So if you're not in the Discord, I highly recommend joining it. But Matt's posted a few videos, I think, of that going and the process on that. It's really cool to watch, and I'm really excited for that to come out. I don't know how much I'm going to use it, but when you see something and you're like, that's going to be really useful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's what this is. I mean, I can't quite remember what started the whole thread converter website, but if I remember right, that was something that somebody was like, hey, I need.
Yep, it was like somewhere last year, somebody needed something, and all of a sudden Matthew made this miracle cure.
I don't know who the original person was, but I know that the first thread converter application I made was actually written in Python, and it was an actual app that I wrote that in Python, and I sent it to Jeff because Jeff actually knew how to make the exe file so you could run it on Windows without having to install all the Python and all the libraries and all the extra stuff. So then once I had that algorithm, which was super basic, I was like, I could probably make a website. And I made the website and then upgraded
converting
it.
all the thread charts to go into the website. I remember that fun.
Yeah, that was fun too.
It's not where my brain goes. I think
there's probably like 13,000 threads in there.
Wow.
There's a lot.
That is one thing that I wish I learned how to do is writing, software and code. Instead, I went the whole networking route, and now that's all I do is do subnetting, and I like the ones and zeros.
I mean, my degree is in video game programming, and I do embroidery.
Yeah, I have no degrees.
Bad. So
my main job is networking, network administration, and then the floor cleaning business and the embroidery. But I am really focusing on just doing the embroidery, getting away from.
You're going to be out of that soon, though, because man, you are such a go-getter. It's like there's no stop in your house. Either one of you're both like da-da, 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 and that's why you're going to make it, because you have decided where you're headed. And you're focused, and that's called, getting where you're headed, because you have your eye on that ball. So you actually are going to be very successful because of that, because you know right where you're headed and what you want to do.
Yeah, well, I also have the right support group that I've met. Thanks, guys. So it helps. It's made. I'm telling you, it's made a world of a difference to me. Get into this industry, and when we dove into this, I knew nothing. Absolutely, my wife, she's a sewer from Europe. She grew up. My wife is from Lithuania. She growing up, they everything, and it's funny. She'll laugh, and you guys can. So her English is she always kind of is rough on herself because she doesn't think that she has her English correct, and it
Neither
is.
do we.
Well, it's funny because with her, she says things backwards. And I remember I worked for our Spokane County, and I worked for district court. That was the department. And I used to wake up in the morning, jump in the shower, get ready to go. And she goes, "Did you iron your pants?" And I go, "Honey, they're good to go. There's no wrinkles. They're good to go." And she goes, "No, you are working with judges. You are not going to work looking like a crap. You are going to get these pants." And I go, "Looking like a what?" She goes, "You're not looking like a crap." I'm like, "Okay, let's get the ironing board out."
I love it. She is so adorable. She is just like such a delight.
I mean, that all comes over time. Actually, my wife is from Poland. And it was
awesome.
early on in the relationship, it was a lot of that where, she's a little self-conscious about her English, and she would say things and I'd be, "Oh, that's so cute." And she'd really like, "No, that's not right. I can't believe I said it like that." But, I think we're 16 years married, I think right now.
Is this still
And
Awesome.
she's pretty fluent in English, and that fades. They pick it up. I guess it also, matters how much they get to speak it at home, because right now my wife has nobody to speak Polish to, except
What about you?
somebody she calls her
How
parent.
much Polish do you know? How much Polish? How much of her language have you learned?
I bet you I could rattle off all the swear words.
Well,
That's all you need to know. And bathroom.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the one that I like to know. Where's the
It's funny. It's funny you say that, Jeff, because my wife never swore until she met me. By all means, I don't use that often, that language, but she never swore until she met me.
Maybe it was leading you that brought it out.
Yeah, probably. And it's so funny because her sister lives up in North Pole, Alaska, and and she does talk to her father back and her brother and stepmother up in Lithuania. But it is so funny because her and I will be talking, and then it'll go silent for a sec, and then her sister calls her on her phone, and it'll be straight from English to Lithuanian. And I'll look over, it flows from English right to Lithuanian. I'm like,
Yep.
I have, so.
The fun part is when your in-laws will come over and they're translating what you say to them and what they say to you, and they'll mix it up. Because I know my wife, when I tried to get her to teach me Polish, she flat out told me, she goes, "When I look at you, I think in English. And when she looks at her family, she thinks in Polish." And I didn't know that was a thing, but I don't speak another language. So, I got the swear words.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't. I'd like to. I'd like to know Spanish.
Well, learn Spanish this year.
I've got the swear words for that too.
Dude, I got so much more to do. I will put it on my list, though.
Rosetta Stone, here we come.
Yeah. I do think, though, we're also forgetting to give Jeff the fuller border, since you guys are doing the patch.
Oh, yeah.
That fuller border was a game changer. I will say, from first starting my patches with the satin border on the edge, because I did not have the marrow machine like Matt had, and then that we got for Jeff, but that you guys financed for Jeff. But that fuller border made a difference, night and day.
Oh yeah,
night and day.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I agree.
Customers saw that border and they're just like, "That is an awesome looking patch," and I'm thinking, and it's all due to this. It is all
the one and only fuller border.
The one and only.
Well, kind of like Matt, you know, if you don't understand, like me, I had no idea what a marrowed border is, because again, my previous support, I worked for the sheriff's office, so and 6 other surrounding law enforcement agencies. So I'd see all their patches on their shoulders, and I had no idea. I knew it was a patch, but I had no idea that it was most of their patches were marrowed edges. So, and then understanding what a marrowed edge is, and then of course that led to seeing Jeff's newly created marrowed, embroidery patch. I snatched those up real fast. I was on your site and had almost every size you could think of.
Well, nobody could do it. Everybody tried to break that code. For as long as I've been in this industry, people tried for years and years and years prior to that to break that code. And Jeff came along and said, "Oh, look what I did." I'm like, holy shit.
Jeff came along and said, "Hold my beer, watch this."
He kind of did. He said, "Look what I did." And I said, "Oh my God." And it shook, I was like, "Oh, dude, you just don't know what you've just done at all."
Well, if you want an actual
back 2022.
So what?
There's a marrow machine right here for sale if you want one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me, Matt, because
He just might. He's got his
Man, that
he wants to do patches.
it's funny because you see people that talk about they get them and they're like, "Oh, these aren't hard to use." But then you see the comments. They're like, I've made 50 of these and there's always a defect. I mean, they're not hard to use. They're hard to do well. They're very hard to do well.
Yeah.
Which I guess just comes after repetition. But I actually, I took 5 yards of the end mark twill and I cut it with the laser into patch blanks. And I marrow a few patch blanks every night just to try to get the repetition. And my pile of ones that I'm keeping is getting larger than the pile of the ones that I cut in half and tried again.
So you're still doing this. You're still doing this. You're still doing that then, marrowing a few every night.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only way to get better. You have to practice. And
that's awesome.
I'd rather get confident in my skills than to, bite off more than I can chew. But that's, honestly, that border that came from, I didn't have a marrow machine and I wanted that look.
Well,
and then we bought you one.
And then you bought me one. Now I don't need it, but it is nice, if you're mocking up one patch, because it takes, if you're going to put embroidery thread on a marrow machine, it's 7 spools.
Yeah.
And if I'm just mocking up 1 or 2, I can throw the border on it and roll it out on my machine and I can show pictures of it and people, they say, "Oh, that's great. I want them." And then I can marrow the rest of them. They don't.
But a lot of people don't, most people don't have a marrow machine. And and most people aren't going to sit there and do a few every night. And Matthew took almost 2 years to learn his marrow machine. I mean,
yeah, and a lot of money.
It would have taken me 5 if it wouldn't have been for Matt.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
So this was one I did last year, if I can figure out how to use the camera.
Wow.
So this is the fuller border. Because there would have been no way that I would have did these on the embroidery machine or the marrow machine.
Yeah, I was wondering.
What I'm trying to get. Okay, this is reversed. Okay, now this way. Okay, there you go. So you see how the border goes underneath the Santa hat?
Yeah.
If I did a marrow machine, I would have had to have cut the patch out, marrowed it, and then put it back on the embroidery machine and gone over the marrow. I can't do that with the marrow machine. I did that with the fuller border. It added a lot more stitches on the embroidery machine, but
that is the one downside. Cool. Is it is a lot more stitches than just a regular satin stitch. But
it's only a couple percent, maybe 10, 15, 20, 30.
I mean, to me, it's worth it. Yeah, to me, it's worth the visual upgrade that you get.
That should not matter. And that's something that really is a problem in this industry, is that people are so tight with their freaking stitches. It's like, the design needs to be what the design needs to be.
Well, and that's another one where it's going under too.
Oh, nice.
it comes in to, how much product do I want to be pushing out? Because ultimately, if you're adding stitches that don't need to be there, it's adding runtime to your machine. It lowers the number of product that you can put out. And I think it just comes down to if you're doing it to try and put out as much product as you can versus you're doing it to, you're okay with it taking an extra 10 minutes or 15 minutes as long as it looks significantly better. It all just kind of comes down to that trade-off that you're fighting with. And I've had customers that, they're like, how can we make you, I'll stitch out a sample, I'll show it to them, they'll go, how can we make it cheaper? It's like, well, I can change this and I can change that and I can take this off and that off and it'll make it cheaper. And say, okay, let's do that.
It's their thing. I mean, you offered the high market item, and that was the smart thing to do, was to offer the high market.
Which
that opportunity.
I like to do that. And then when they say, how can we make this cheaper? It's good to already have the items in your head that you're going to do. If I'm trying to sell somebody Richardson hats and they say, how can I make this cheaper? Well, I've got these ones that are from this other brand. It's not the same brand, but they're cheaper.
Yeah.
We're saving money on the blank. If we do this to the design, we're going to save some money. You want to offer them the premium product, the best product that's going to meet their needs. But you also have to keep in mind that they're probably going to want to lower the budget. And they, some people, they'll be like, oh, that's great. That price is great. And it's like, sweet, I just sold the higher premium item, longer runtime on my machine. But, in my experience, there's always that, can we make it cheaper? And what would we sacrifice if we make it cheaper?
Yeah, that's too bad. Boo.
I mean, it's if I was doing high end, linens and high end,
right,
that kind of stuff, it's the design is going to dictate what it's going to be. But
exactly,
I'm doing
a hat that's different. You're right.
Joe's shop patch that's going to go on his overall.
You're correct.
He might not care that edge looks that way. He just wants something that says his name across it in the cheapest
absolutely correct
way that he can. So it just, I look at things a lot by runtime too, because I charge by runtime.
And that's where the Mero machine is nice too, because I can do these borders. I mean, I've had a little bit more experience now. So the first 2 or 3 that I did of these, I probably spent a good 40, 50 seconds on them, just going real slow. And then by the 15th and 20th, I was doing them in like 20 seconds at most.
Isn't that nice?
Wow. That's what I noticed when I do them. When I sit down and I start doing them and I do, 3 or 4 or 5, you progressively get faster at it.
Yeah. You get into a flow also.
Yeah. Even with like this shape too, like it sucks. Like mine, I modified a little bit with the Dremel to be able to do the inside corners, and it's like a minute plus for the first couple, and then halfway through you're flying through them at 40, 50 seconds each, which it sounds like a lot, but do a satin border on an embroidery machine.
It's a long time.
The only problem with that is a fly lands on your nose and you just screwed up the whole patch. It's that fast that something it goes sideways really, really quick, and it's
that's why you have 10% overflow.
See, I don't know. It's different. It throws that border down so fast on a Mero machine that it's funny. You corners going into the corners. You really like. It's just. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, but it's helped having Matt, who's gone through a lot of the trial and error, and he's like, no, you need to stop here. You need to do this. You need to do that. It helps a lot.
I love that patch. I really did like the idea of the now you don't being tone on tone. I thought that was brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant.
Well, thank you. I didn't do that. Well, I mean, I made the patch, but I didn't design it.
I know. I thought that was really cool with the tone on tone. And when they declined it, I thought, you guys, come on. This is like a double entendre. Get with the program. Because you do see it. It's like, now you don't. Yes, I do. I'm so literal sometimes, but yes, I do see it.
Yeah, that's what I have. You can do so much, but
yeah, I have a nervous job coming up that you know, a mutual friend of mine, he's a fire chief out at Fairchild Air Force Base. And
I've been there.
Yeah, yep. So he's a fire chief out there, and he wants to come to me to make their patches. So Matt, I'm still learning the patches, so I'm a little nervous. We're gonna meet in mid-January. To kind of, he's gonna bring his clothes to me and kind of see, so I can take a look at what the patches look like. But I'm a little nervous.
Well, if you say the words AFI 36-2903, that's the Air Force regulation, and you'll have the contract like right then and there. Don't worry,
Make sure
I got
you text that to me.
I have
Like,
you've got some help.
Your patches will be made in accordance with this and the Institute of Heraldry and blah, 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 blah. And you're good.
Awesome.
I'll make sure I'm going to be reaching out.
Are you going
I did one garment alteration that wasn't a patch, which I ended up making it into a patch order. It was actually from the fire department off at Air Force Base. He wanted one of them, like kind of like this jacket. It had someone else's name on it, and he got it from that person. He wanted his name on it. So he asked me if I could remove the stitching and put his name on it. I'm like, I think that'll leave holes, and I don't really feel like doing that. Would you be fine with me just putting on a 1x4-inch Velcro strip and just making you a name tape? And he's like, yeah, that sounds cool. So that's what I did. So I made it into a patch, and that's the only garment alteration I did. But I don't know where that really came from. I think I had another part of the story, but I forgot where it was going.
That's how you got a patch order, you said. You did that one alteration that led to a patch order. So what was the patch order?
Oh, that was it. I just turned it from, instead of hooping the garment and embroidering on the garment and being able to screw that up, I made it into a patch where if I screwed up the patch, then I just made a new one. And
that was easy.
I just took the 1-inch Velcro strip that I have and just did a rectangular outline and then an X through it. And that was it. So that was the most stressful part. And that was using my little Singer. I didn't have this guy yet.
Nice.
But there's a hook in my ceiling where I hung the garment on a clothes hanger and took a picture of it, like first and only garment I'm ever doing.
First and last, right?
Now I got a hoop master, so we'll see. I don't know if I want to do that though, but
you'll see.
That's what I just ordered is my hoop master.
You're kind of manifesting it. If you have a hoop master in the house, you're telling the universe, I would like to do garments.
Yeah, it's kind of headed that way, but I know Jerry Lee, we've talked. I'd really like to do some. We have a huge mountain biking community here. I'm a big downhill mountain bike rider, and so with the community, there are so many cool patches that I know that that's come to like fruition for an idea that I'd like to lay down and just get, because I mean, we're huge around here between here and Idaho. I ride Silver Mountain, which is in Kellogg, Idaho. All of it, but there's a huge mountain biking community, especially up by Canada. I mean, we're all over, and I think it would just be cool to catch some of the cool designs and just create patches for all these mountain bikers out here.
You could make some cash, man. I don't really understand the whole patch thing. Look at
that.
I wish it would focus. Yes, this is actually the exact same thing. There's obviously a hiking group in Omaha. And this is even the footprint, all those treads is like one stitch. That was a fun job.
Wow.
Yeah, there's very few trims in this design, despite it actually looking like there's a lot.
Yeah.
But I took their logo, put this on there, threw it on the Facebook page, and I didn't get to sell any because the admin didn't approve it, and I'm no longer in the group. But people were asking for patches with the logo, and I'm like, okay, I can do it. And then they got mad and whatever. So
wow.
So that ended that little.
Yeah. But I mean, if you actually do it through official channels or whatever and don't make people mad, you can.
You can actually stay in the group. Don't be like Matthew.
Yep, which is fine because I never went hiking anyways. So it's
You
just
like
I only
dust.
hiked in England. So, but yeah, it's very easy to make club patches. So
Awesome.
Fun.
I'm working on it slowly but surely.
You're gonna get there though. You are. It's
and this
coming.
one was actually fuller border too. Yeah, and
Oh,
this
nice.
is not.
Yeah.
This is one layer of stabilizer, gun old Twilly, and just one color, and it ran, and that's it.
I would not have guessed that was the fuller border. That looked like a marrow. It's like
Oh, that was the sample. Normally, my samples I do in fuller border,
yeah.
and I do the digital mock-up in the fuller border, and then I take that out, and then I marrow it.
Yeah, but that's sharp looking. You wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Wow. Well, Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year.
yeah. And Jeff looks like he's back. He had a little bit of fun.
He did.
You're
Child.
muted.
Hey, buddy. Turn on your mic.
Bat in the house.
Oh,
A bat in the house?
it was cold.
It's not in the house anymore.
I bet. Is it still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good. I was going to say, don't kill them. They're good things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to admit to anything illegal
Yeah.
on the internet.
It better
What's
be.
I saw a
incriminating?
mouse.
Huh?
It better still be alive.
It is. I'm pretty sure they're protected and you're not supposed to kill them.
Good.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may and will be used against you in the court of law. I'm kidding.
Well,
It
Not
may or
gonna
may not
finish reading.
survive outside.
Because, I mean, even doing like the bat abatement, you have to make a thing that stops them from coming back into the house. So you make like a one-way door that they go out and they can't get back in.
oh.
And you can only do that during certain months because if they may or may not have reproduced in your house, you have to wait until those grow and get out of your house before they come back in.
Oh,
Yeah, my in-laws had that. They had 12 bats in their attic or something, I think, and they couldn't get rid of them for, I think, 4 or 5 months because of that exact same thing.
Yep, because they're protected.
Oh dear.
Are they really?
Cat in the attic.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
So
But Adam
that
came down here.
doesn't mean necessarily that. Okay.
Well, Ava freaks out. Like she hides under pillows.
Oh, she must be worried it's going to get in her hair.
You should show her the size of the holes that bats climb through to get into the house. I think they can get underneath the pillow.
She ran into a different room and shut the door, and the bat went under the door. So she
Reminds
escaped
me of
it, and it followed her.
Does she know about rabies? Because I had to get the rabies shots because of a bat. It was fun.
Yeah, see, I've got really thick insulated
Ugh.
gloves, and I picked it up, and it bit my glove like 6 times. But
Wow.
that's why I use very thick insulated gloves.
The welder gloves or something.
Yep.
So, how did you get bit by a bat, Matt?
I didn't even get bit. It was just the possibility of contracting rabies.
So, don't you have to get those in your stomach?
Not if you catch it early. That's
so-
if you,
Right.
especially if it's confirmed that the animal had it. No, mine, I was in 6th grade or 5th grade or something, and I was taking like papers out of a trash bin, and there's like 3 in there. So I just reached in the trash bin and grabbed it, and there's a bat in there. So just
I
the
guarantee
fact
you.
that I may have been scratched, I had to get rabies shots.
Oh,
I guarantee all the food that was in the kitchen that was not covered is now in the garbage can. Only if Justin's Robin.
Hey, that's your first 3D pup design.
I think then he has to become nerd too, so that makes Matthew Robin.
Cool.
Wow.
I
No,
would be Robin.
You.
we've had a couple of bats in the house before, and it turned out that they were climbing in through the bathroom vents.
Well, that's unnerving.
Yeah, it kind of freaked Dave out a little bit. And so we did some bat abatement, but then we got a new roof and new siding. And so now I think we're going to have to do bat abatement again, which is very, very
Ooh.
expensive.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Wow.
It's like, but they crawl around your house, and any gap that's bigger than a 1/4 inch, they seal it.
Oh, man.
So
Yeah.
it's,
Wow.
yeah, but hopefully we
deal
can
with
get it lined
mice.
up here before spring, because then in spring they're gonna reproduce, and if you catch it before spring, they can get them out. If you go during spring, you have to wait till late summer to get them out. So
you don't have to be a bat baby house. You don't
I
have
mean,
to be
this isn't my first rodeo, unfortunately.
You
The
sound
first
like
time it was hilarious. The bat came in the room and she hid under her laptop. It's not saving you. The laptop is just not enough.
so now it's
Every time I think of bats, I think of the Chris Farley movie when David Spade opens the fridge, or Chris Farley opens the fridge and tells him that bats are, okay, open the fridge door, and it's attracted to light. It'll get into the fridge, shut the door, boom, problem solved. And then David Spade goes, "That's moss, dumbass."
Oh yeah, no moths here. I'm sure Ava didn't think it was a moth.
No,
Good old-
she yelled down the stairs. She's like, "Jeff, get up here. We need help." I'm like, "Oh, great. What is it?" They lit the house on fire. She yells, "There's a bat in the house." And I just went, I know that can't wait. I mean, if the living room was on fire, I've got like 5 minutes. I can close this out. But bat, nope. I got to get up there. And
Well, yeah, you kind of exit quickly. That was a like, pew. You were gone.
I told Matt.
I saw it. I just didn't announce it because we were talking about something else anyways.
I'm sure you were like, "Gotta catch a bat."
I'm like,
that's
not
a weird
even
way
ask.
to say you're pooping.
So I got a phone call, and then now I got an interesting home evasion story.
Okay.
So back at my parents' house when I was in high school, I had the basement for my room, and it's an old farmhouse. There's chimneys, like clean outs are in the basement and everything. It's cool. So Easter day, one day, wake up to something making noise in my room. I'm like, okay, well, it's the cat. So I like reach over and like go to pet the cat. Well, it's not a cat. I find as it's flying across my room, knocks over my computer monitor. And I'm like, what? I just woke up, so I'm not really sure what's going on. And so here is my cat apparently flying across the room, and then it stops and it starts quacking at me.
Oh.
And I'm waking up. I'm like, Gary? And it's still quacking. And then I finally see it, and there's a mallard duck in my room. And I'm like, okay, my parents, mom or dad, you're pretty funny. I mean, Easter, giving me a duck, whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go wake them up if they woke me up with a duck. And I go up there and knock on their bedroom door. I'm like, hey, there's a duck in my room. My mom wakes up. She's like, there's a what? I'm like, there's a duck. A duck? Yes, a duck. Okay. And then she nudges my dad and like, your son says there's a duck in his room. A what? A duck. A duck? Yes, a duck. I'm like, yeah, there's a duck in my room. Why'd you guys put it in my room? And then I'm like, I ain't do that.
They didn't.
I'm like, okay. They come down, and then we're looking for the duck in the room, and we can't find it. And then it flies out from underneath my bed and goes behind the headboard. And we're like, okay, well, now what are we gonna do? Oh so we open one of the windows because it's ground level egress window or whatever.
I'm just waiting for you to say we let the rabbit in the room, solve the duck problem.
No, so we just kind of chased it. It flew out the window, but my mom let the cat outside.
Oh.
And so the cat was right by the window and sees this duck fly out and just loses its mind and just takes off and didn't see it for a couple hours. It just freaked out. But yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the cat ate it. Like we got it out of the house. We're like, yay, it's free, and the cat pounced.
That's the rated R version. This is the PG.
Oh.
Yeah. But so I had a duck in my room. That's pretty much that story. I've also had garden snakes, obviously mice, because it's an old farmhouse.
Yeah, we're catching mice right as we speak. I caught 2 of them last night. I was sitting on the couch and I look over and I thought I saw something run across my kitchen floor.
Oh.
And of course, being 10 degrees, I mean, Jerry Lee, you know how cold it is here.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
very cold.
Did you? So yeah, time to set the traps out again. It's getting cold and they want to come in and stay warm. So far we've got 2 of them.
I mean, it's just that feeling. Something gets in your house and it's live and you're like, oh God, this again.
Yeah.
Or what about back in September when I'm like, hey guys, there's a cockroach in Justin's room. You're like, nah, there's not. And you guys didn't believe me. And then finally Justin saw it and it's like, yep, that's not my room anymore.
Was that big?
Can you believe they didn't give us the cockroach in the room rate?
No, they did not.
They were just like, oh, we sprayed for them.
Well, I'm afraid to find out what we have lined up for Long Beach.
Cockroach in the room rate.
No, we're not doing that.
Heroin needles everywhere.
No, we're not doing that either. We're not going to do any of it. We're going somewhere dignified.
Yeah, see, I have a feeling that the place we're going at night is going to be to sleep, and then we're probably not going to be there the rest of the time.
No, we're going to be having a good time.
Oh, speaking of which, I don't know if Justin, if you're still there, wave or blink twice so we can tell. I just got the ticket in the mail.
For what?
Anyway, so Justin and I made an IKEA run while we were at ISS, and I went through a toll lane, I guess. So I got a ticket in the mail.
A ticket? You just got that?
Yep. I think they do it quarterly.
Oh, how much that pop you for?
Guess.
$62. No, $12.
I've got a guess.
147.
What do you think, Jeff?
You already told me.
Yeah, I know. It was $14.
What do you think?
Oh, what's up?
Justin didn't get a guess in. He said 14. I heard him.
Justin was more like, I just hope you don't get like a big ticket in the mail. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, how are they going to know it's me? Or when Jeff and I were in Colorado, I'm pretty sure we went through a toll lane as well. Had no idea until it was like
no license plate visible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were cameras back there, but I don't have front license plate. I have a trailer on. The trailer isn't mine. It has my coworker's plates on it. And
not my problem.
My license plate because the trailer's there. So
your coworker's getting that ticket.
I mean, sometimes you get on the freeway and it's like, oh, that's nice. It's a toll road. Like, you don't know when you're getting onto it. It's just, it happens. And you're like, well, that's going to suck. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's like watching the semi merge into your lane. You're like, this is going to suck. Just keep going.
Well, this is happening. Well, we're almost at 2 hours, guys and gals.
Yeah, we are. Well, Happy New Year, you guys.
Absolutely.
So 2 more hours, and then it'll be a whole new year.
I'm pretty sure I'd get shot if I stayed here another 2 hours.
No, I can't. The cats didn't like the bacon. What?
What?
I know.
Sound like a bunch of
know big.
They're ingrate. They only want tuna and sardines now. I can't do that 7 days a week.
We had like 40 cats on the family farm. All came from one cat, so it was pretty much a family bush, not a family tree.
Sorry, did you want to reply to that one?
But it was, you could take like a gallon pitcher of cat food and throw it outside onto the deck, and like maybe 3 pieces would hit the ground because they would all be there. Or you could throw out a bunch, like a loaf of bread, and then all the cats would get it except for the one cat would just like, what is that? Like, I don't want that. And just would not even touch bread. But all the others just gone. It wouldn't even hit the ground.
Wow. Some of these turn up their nose. I've tried all sorts of stuff, but they don't like hamburger, as it turns out.
Well, you know what fixes that? Starvation.
Oh, stop. Shame on you. I'm going to come beat your butt. I am going to come right now beat your butt.
I mean, if all you're putting out is hamburger, eventually they're going to be like, I'm hungry enough. Let's eat it.
Your butt is in mine. 3 weeks, buddy. That's how it's going to be.
Oh, about that? No,
okay, so. Okay, Justin, are you going to Long Beach?
I wish I was.
That's a hard
I'm
no.
not going to be able to. Yeah.
Okay, next year. Okay, so Jeff
Better.
is going to represent. Letty could represent. We're not really sure. And I do have a room to sell you. I'll even give it to you for half off.
There we go.
I'm serious.
I'm kind of wondering if we're going to have plane flights at the way they're canceling flights out here. But
well,
that's one of the things. It's you look at the flights and you look at the Omicron Persei 8 and all that stuff that comes through, and you're just like, you know what? I'm going to book it and cross my fingers. If they cancel it, I can get my money back, and if they don't cancel it, then I'm going.
Yeah. So I'm just going for it. I need to go. This is like for me the follow-up. Like I was so excited to be in that show in Fort Worth. That was like the best, and that's because of you, Jeff. So I really appreciated that you allowed yourself to get over your fear and everything and go to that show and be on that panel, because I know that was huge. So I really am glad that you were able to do that, because that just was good for everybody. And I look forward to doing that again and following through with some things that started in Fort Worth and going to roll on through into January here. I really have big aspirations, Dustin. It includes you.
I know.
Yep, I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's good. I'm going to definitely start fitting these trips into my budget. That's for sure.
Yeah, you do need to, because, and here's the deal. For next year, you and Inga come on down to the one in January. It's the biggest one. Okay, it's the biggest one of the year. It's also the hardest one to get to for everybody because of the money, because it's right after Christmas. But somehow,
just consider it research and development expenses.
Well, I'm going to start 3D printing greenbacks.
Uncle Sam will love that.
I know. Some of them might even look pretty good.
Just say you guys couldn't print money fast enough, so I decided to help.
I know. I just decided to print some of mine, Zach. Well,
Sawgrass to use.
That's right. But I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to go. I'm so glad to have you guys in my life, and to that we're all part of the team, and that we're all on the same team with this group and everything. It's a lot of fun.
Agreed.
Good.
It is.
Family.
Absolutely, guys.
Oh, look at here. Wait. Ramona made it. Ramona, how are you, darling? Get on camera.
Hey, I saw her yesterday in person.
I think we're going to have to kind of wrap it up, because we're 2 hours in, and I still got to put dinner away, because I just realized I never did that from like 6.
Everyone's texting me too, going, "Where are you?" Now that I've walked away from the bonfire, and I had to charge my phone. It's in my truck, and everyone's like, "Where'd you go?"
Just say you're with your family.
Conversation of the year. You should find me.
I do want to come over seriously and look at your branches. I'm not joking you. I need more branches. I've got corn here. So
Inga would love to.
This next week.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, Happy New Year. Blessed
New Year, guys.
All right.
Wait, let's end this right. So, everybody, I am Jeff Fuller with Fuller Embroidery Works. That is Jerry Lee Medeiros with Sunfacer Manufacturing. That is Matt Enderly from Patch Phrase. We have Letty Walker from Walker Woods Creation, and we have Dustin from, I forget your company's name,
Lilac City Stitches.
From Lilac City Stitches, and we are all here representing the Embroidery Nerd. We'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we will catch you next time.
Yep, 222.
See you, everybody.
Bye.